Hey everybody, Fishman here. Welcome to another video. It wasn't until I started putting this video together that I realized it has been way too long since I've given you guys any kind of update on this. This is the large U-shaped Paludarium I'm building for a client, and I started going through the materials and I realized that, wow, there's an awful lot of stuff I haven't covered yet, and this is way further along than what you're seeing here currently. But there's too much material for me to put this all in one video. I don't want to really leave anything out. There's a lot of interesting things happening. But this is at the current time now. It's filled, it's running. Half the filtration system is up and doing its thing. There's a ton of plants in it, fish in it. But at this point in time, early in the spring here, they were having issues with getting people in, staff and that sort of stuff. They were only in like 1 or 2 days a week, and there wasn't really enough of consistency with that for me to put fish in and get all that stuff going, so it had to be put on hold. Now they are close to up and running completely. They are in now about 4 days a week, 3 at minimum, and that's plenty of time, like plenty of consistency, so that I can put fish in and have everything, run properly and don't have to worry about the fish or anything. So right now it is moving ahead quite quickly, but I will get all these videos caught up as we go along here. Like I said, this is a few months ago, and I am doing the test fill, and this is what I brought it up to initially. And then it sat there for a little while, and of course had to bring it up to full. Actually, it didn't get actually completely full until about a week or two ago, because there wasn't really any point in adding the rest of the water until I started putting like the gravel and plants and fish and rocks and all that sort of stuff in. So here it is here. I mean, it had held water, and that's the most important first step. And the last thing I showed you guys, actually a long time ago now, I showed you a build for the underground filtration system. That's this part here. And the reason why it's in 4 pieces like this, I have a milling machine, and it does allow me to drill holes quite easily. But if I cut it into 4 like this and then stack them and do the holes that way, it cuts the time in half, and by a quarter. So it makes it much simpler to build, and it keeps the time reasonable. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to build a containment system for this. This is the plastic housing that's going to sit down inside, and that way I can fill this with gravel, put a pump on it, and that will become the underground filtration system. And I'm doing it in 2 pieces. There's no real reason it can't be built in one big piece, other than the fact that it might be a little bit cumbersome, but mostly the reason is this wastes a lot less material. If I were to make it the length that I want it and a specific width and all that sort of stuff, I have to get it cut. So that means I have to go and go to the plastics place and get it cut. And when you do that, you end up paying for the offcuts. I usually take them with me anyway. But this way, I have all the materials I need in the shop, and all I have to do is cut it. And this is going to sit inside the tank, and it's going to fit together quite nicely. So the gravel, when it fills up inside here, it isn't going to, well, you're not even going to see it. So it doesn't really matter. It could be, again, like the actual underground filter part itself, it could be in 4 pieces. The only reason why I'm not doing that is because the more pieces I make this out of, the greater the chance that one or more of these sections will become unaligned, and then water being what it is, will follow the path of least resistance, and I'll end up with the flow of not going where I want it to, and therefore cut down on the efficiency of the filter. So 2 pieces aren't so bad. I'll be able to maintain those pretty easily and keep them where I want, and also because once this is all filled up, it'll be quite heavy. The smaller pieces, of course, again, will have a greater chance of, because they're lighter, being jostled or banged around as maintenance is being done, that sort of thing, and end up possibly, reducing the efficiency of this filter. So as this is going together, you'll see that this is pretty much just going to look like a little aquarium, and this is going to sit inside the big one. This is the last side for this part. I'm going to put another piece there just to make sure it's aligned properly for when it lines up to the other side. And there you go. This is going to drop down inside there, and that will be the section where the filter goes, and we're going to fill up with gravel. So this is just pretty much like an aquarium inside an aquarium. And if you're wondering why there is that shelf on the outside, there's going to be a fair amount of rock and driftwood and gravel and all sorts of stuff that's going to be not necessarily attached to this, though there is one piece that is being attached to this currently. It just gives me a little bit of buffer between the bottom of this and then, of course, the bottom of the actual aquarium itself. And a little bit of extra cushion is not a problem. All this is going to get buried, so it doesn't really matter. You're not going to see any of it anyway. So this is just, like I said, just another layer of security for me, for not having to worry about if I drop a rock for it to hit the bottom. And not less likely to crack with acrylic than glass, but again, it's not the kind of thing I want to take any kind of chance with. So I'm only going to show you this one half being made. There's no point in showing you the other one. But this is, like I said, the first of the two filtration systems for this. I have thought about the other side so many times, trying to figure out how I want to do it. This is going to be run by a water pump, and I was thinking that I do want to have air in this as well, so I might run the second one off of air, but I'm not sure yet. And that's kind of odd to say considering how much time I've spent working on this. I think that's part of the problem, really, when you have a lot of extra time. I've fiddled with things, I've tried things out. The end result is I'll end up with a much better aquarium than if I had done this in the usual time frames that I get for these sorts of things. But again, the other downside, of course, is it takes an awful lot longer. So believe it or not, we're actually getting close to the end of this video. I know it seems a little short, but when I was looking at the materials for this video and deciding where to divide all the material up, it made sense for it to end at this point, because in the next video I am going to put the stages that are going to go above this, where all the plants are going to go, all the little pots basically, and where the water is going to shoot across and all that. And like I said, that's a lot more material, so it made sense again just for it to end at this point. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you the pieces stuck together. It goes together quite nicely, and then I'm going to put this in the aquarium and put some gravel in it. The pump orientation that you're going to see is not the one that's actually going to be in the final product, because I wanted the water to shoot across the surface just to keep everything agitated. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate that 90 degrees so it shoots up, because it has to go up into the planter pots. And then those planter pots are going to have, well, they're going to have gravel, they're going to have other things in them as well. And then, of course, they're going to get all the plants and all that sort of stuff. All the stuff that's got to come later on. I am going to show you one other thing, though. I did make some initial lids that I'm testing out for this, and I'm going to pan up to those at the very end, the last shot. I made the same kind of lids I'm putting on my aquariums. They're the small segment ones of acrylic. It means that there's going to be an awful lot of lids for this tank, but it will keep the humidity up nice and high, which is kind of important. I really do want to build up that for this. So here you go. This is just the initial stages. The water's running. There's a piece of driftwood I glued on there. Again, this is just early stages. There's a lot more to come to this. Thank you for your patience on this, by the way. And leave comments. Let me know what you think of it. And in the next video or two, we're going to get a lot closer to the current time. And here you go. These are the first few lids I put together. They're very simple to work with, even though there's a lot of them. And of course, it keeps the humidity nice and high, which is kind of cool. So thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next video, and bye for now.